Hey friend, Church D coming at you once again. Thank you for tuning into What Does It Take to Win. I hope you're having a great day today. If you're starting off your day listening to this podcast, I hope it makes it that much better. If you're closing out your day listening to this, then I hope it turns your day around for the better. Of course, right? Hey, can you believe that we are almost done with the year 2021? Like, we just have a couple months left. It's incredible. I hope your year has been going pretty well for you. I know mine has been interesting, to say the least. There's been a lot of good that happened to me this year. There were a couple challenges, a couple roadblocks, but I didn't stumble. I didn't trip over them. So that's pretty awesome. Hey, I just want to let you guys know that I did put out some brand new music. It was at the end of May to close out Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's a single by the name of Don't Quit. It's pretty awesome. It has a positive message. Obviously, it's telling you not to quit, not to give up. Because everything that you've been working for, you're right on the verge of receiving it. So don't quit. Check that out. Check out my entire catalog of music. You can check out my first album, The Cactus, Bare Minimum 2.0. You can check out my single entitled The Vision, my EP entitled The Big Reveal, my full-length album that I dropped at the beginning of this year, 2021, entitled Something's Missing, and of course my latest single entitled Don't Quit, which I just told you about before I went down my whole catalog of music. So yeah, check it out. Click the link that's in this description. It'll take you to all of my content. Also, if you need beats, if you need instrumentals, I still do those. I have over 120 instrumentals that are available. So you could lease them, you could purchase them and have exclusive rights. If you do want to purchase them so nobody else can have them, just send me a quick DM, a quick email, or you can message me on Facebook and we can talk about pricing for the exclusive rights. And we can go from there, So if you need it for like a jingle, if you need it for your podcast, if you need it for some background music, if you're a vlogger and you want to upload some content to YouTube, I got you covered. I have any instrumental that you need. Also, if you feel like you want to just give me a donation and you're listening to this podcast and you're like, wow, I really like the advice you're giving and I like how you're trying to do something positive for the people, you can go ahead and click the link in this description. There's like a tab where you can go ahead and donate to me. And like I said, I'm not demanding any donations. I'm not saying you have to do it, but I'm just opening up the door just in case somebody's listening like, oh, okay, you know what? I'd like to give this dude a little something for his troubles, So, and of course, I'll put it to good use. Like I said, I'm not greedy. I'm not just out here trying to take people's money. No. So that's a little bit of my promo for the time being. Let us jump right into the topic of the hour, or the 15 minutes, as I like to say. So what we're going to be talking about on this episode, it's going to be actually part 2 of the mental health break. I did this a little while back, and I received some good feedback on it. Apparently it helped out a few people who did listen to that episode. So yeah, this is going to be the mental health break number 2. And it's entitled Get Your Life Together in 30 Minutes. I know that's like a long title. Mental Health Break number 2, Get Your Life Together in 30 Minutes. It's a mouthful. Try to say that 10 times fast. I digress. Let's jump right into it. You know how I do. I have 3 quick and easy points that you can follow. And so, the first point is to set your timer, grab your to-do list, and go at it. The second point is to don't freak out if you didn't get everything done in 30 minutes. And the third and final point is to reflect and to review. Okay, so here we go. And now the way this came about was recently I found myself putting things off. And what I mean by that is my to-do list was beginning to grow bit by bit, more and more, and it was starting to get out of control. Before I knew it, I had like a ton of things that I had to get done, and I didn't have a lot of time to get it done. Well, so I thought. It felt like I would never get this done. So I decided to just sort of set my timer and try to get my life together. Okay. So to my surprise, I was able to do just that. And it took right around 30 minutes. Well, it might have been a little bit less than 30 minutes, but I got myself back on track. So we're going to jump into point number 1, and that is to pretty much set your timer, grab your to-do list, and just go at it. It can be a timer anywhere. We all have cell phones. We all have smartphones these days. Pretty sure you're even listening to this podcast on a smartphone. Pull up your timer app, set a timer for 30 minutes, and just go at it. Go ahead and attack all of those things that you've been putting off. For example, for me, I had some unopened mail, a couple of bills, and some production stuff that I needed to get out ASAP. What I did was I grabbed my credit card and took care of the bills first, obviously. I know the money had to leave my account. Boo. Then suddenly, 40% of my list was cleaned just from taking care of the bills. Next, it was the unopened mail, which mostly didn't need a response. They send you a ton of junk mail, a lot of offers saying, hey, sign up for this, do that, check this out. And they didn't really need a response. So the good part about that is now I can toss that junk mail, and just like that, another 30% has been taken care of. Finally, it's time to deal with the production stuff. The production stuff was pretty easy because I had already created a system beforehand on how to handle that and get things done fairly quickly. So that I just blew that out the water. And before you knew it, that was the end of my to-do list. Just like that, it was like, wow, everything I was stressing about, everything I was starting to get antsy about had been taken care of in under 30 minutes for me. I just moved quickly. I'm sure you can do it in 30 minutes. I'm sure you could also do it in 30 minutes or less. So yeah, just you got to write things down sometimes and just go at it. Go through that list, check off the items one by one, and you'll see that certain things aren't that important. They're not important enough to stress you out. You shouldn't be worried about it. So that's pretty much it for point number 1. We're going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to move on to point number 2. And that simply states that you shouldn't freak out if you didn't get everything done in the 30 minutes. So don't freak out if you didn't get everything done in 30 minutes. Even if you only completed a couple of the tasks from your to-do list, that's fine. Why? Because you've made progress. Those tasks aren't going to be there the next time you check your to-do list. They're not going to be there tomorrow. Why? Because you've completed them. And the best part about this 30-minute hack is it's only 30 minutes, meaning you can take a break and try it again the same day. So, for example, if you didn't get something done, let's say in the 30 minutes, or if you feel like, oh, I failed, I didn't complete the whole list, you can take a break. You have 30 minutes, right? Most likely it's going to take me 30 minutes to record this podcast for you, to go back and clean up certain areas and make sure it's top quality when you're listening and it doesn't stress you out, right? It doesn't make your ears bleed. 30 minutes. You have 24 hours in the day. So what if you don't get everything done in the first 30 minutes you set aside? Take a break. Let's say you start at 8 in the morning. You do 30 minutes, 8 a.m. to 8:30. And then you don't get everything done. Take a break for 4 hours and then get back at it again at 12 noon or 1 p.m. and take another 30 minutes. It's not over. In fact, this is a better way to help manage any stressors that might arise. You can put a lot of pressure on yourself, forcing yourself to try to get things done in a small window of time. And it's simply just impossible sometimes. You might be able to get things done, but then if you're going to create that environment that's going to add additional stress, that's not good for your health. So definitely, give yourself that 30-minute window. But if you don't get everything done, don't freak out. Just take a break and jump right back into it later on that day. Hey, we all got 24 hours, right? In fact, if you look at it like this, we get 8 hours to work on our jobs. You can't do everything in 8 hours. What you don't get done in that day, you do it the next day, right? So apply that same principle when you're trying to get your life back on track. If you don't get everything done off your to-do list in 30 minutes, that's fine. Start again later on. So I hope that helps somebody. We're going to move right along onto point number 3. It's the third and final point. And that simply says to reflect and review. Now that you've completed your assignment, I know, like school, right? Blah. And the kiddos are getting ready to go back to school soon. Oh, I used to hate that. But that's not what this podcast is about. Stay in school, kids. Reflect and review. So now that you've completed your assignment, take a moment and just reflect and pat yourself on the back. Give yourself the credit where credit is due. Not everybody gets their life in order in 30 minutes, but you did something, or at least you took steps towards getting your life together in 30 minutes. You took some steps. You made some steps towards getting your life back on the path you desired, which is a major accomplishment, believe it or not. No matter how small you may believe it is, no matter how small it may feel, you've made a major accomplishment. Once you do that, take some time out and review the areas you got done and you had the most success in. So the areas that you've completed, like for me, it was taking care of the bills and the junk mail. I sat back after I completed that. I was like, wow, you did a good job there. You can do better next time, if you open the mail as soon as you got it. You just look at areas where you can, add improvement. Or even with the production stuff, I look back and say, okay, you've created a pretty decent system for producing hit records in a timely manner or producing it very quickly. How can you modify this system? What tweaks can you add to it to make sure it's even more efficient, and so on. But even with that being said, again, don't apply too much pressure to yourself. You're already doing good. I know I've already done pretty well in regards to the whole production thing and creating that system. And yes, I do want to get better, but at the same time, I don't want to pressure myself to the point where I feel like I'm not growing or I don't want to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to put that out there for anybody who's listening. Sometimes we can be our worst critic. Sometimes we can be too much of a perfectionist to the point where we don't get things done, and that's not healthy. So yeah, just give yourself that freedom, reflect, review, and pat yourself on the back because you put in some work and you got things done. And that was the third and final point. So this episode was pretty quick. It was short and to the point. I hope you were able to just sort of take in what you could and, really just get your life back on track. Not to say that your life is a mess, but sometimes, things become overwhelming. It seems like everything's coming at us all at once. And we need to sort of just pull back, create a to-do list, as I mentioned, and take care of our responsibilities. Okay. So let's just do a quick recap of the 3 points. So the first point is to set your timer. Grab your to-do list and go for it. Just go at it. You can attack everything that's on your list and you're going to get it done. The second point is don't freak out if you didn't get everything done in the 30 minutes. Look, Rome wasn't built in a day. I've said this a few other times in some different episodes on this podcast. Yes, you might not get everything done in the 30 minutes, but it's cool. You can take a break and jump right back in. It's only 30 minutes. You have 24 hours in the day. And the third and final point is to reflect and review. Now that you've completed your assignment, take a moment, sit back, and look at what you did. Look at the progress that you made. You're going to do better in the future, and so on. Thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope it blessed you and I hope it encouraged you. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to share this. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with people you don't even like. Share it with that person who keeps bothering you for advice. I got you covered. And lastly, if you'd like to connect with me, just click the link in the description for all of my content. I have some great things in store for you. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.